They laughed when you started. They doubted when you struggled. They whispered when you failed. And when you disappeared, they assumed you gave up. But here's what they didn't see. They didn't see you get up when no one was looking. They didn't see the late nights, the early mornings, the sacrifices, the doubt you fought through quietly. While the world moved on, thinking you were done. But you weren't done. You were just beginning. Because revenge isn't something that needs to be shouted. It is about stepping so fully into your potential that the people who once doubted you don't recognize you anymore, not because they lack ambition, but because they don't need attention. They've traded applause for progress. They've exchanged validation for vision. And instead of proving their worth to the world, they've focused on becoming so good that the world has no choice but to take notice. That's the path you're on now. One step at a time, in silence, while others talk. It's about showing up with confidence, not ego. The silence can be lonely. The work can be exhausting. The lack of recognition can be discouraging. Why you stopped posting, stopped explaining yourself, stopped showing up for the same conversations, and that's fine. Let them wonder, let them misunderstand. Because while they're focused on appearances, you're focused on alignment, on becoming the person your future demands, on building something that doesn't just prove a point but lives with purpose. But that's what separates the average from the extraordinary. Anyone can talk, anyone can perform for attention, but only the truly driven, the truly focused, can stay committed when there's no spotlight. Only those with real fire in their soul can keep pushing when no one's watching, when no one's clapping, when no one believes. And that's where you build your advantage. In the silence, you sharpen your edge with results, not excuses. It's about letting your success whisper everything your anger once wanted to scream. And when that happens, when you walk into a room and your presence says everything that needed to be said, there is no need for a speech. Your progress speaks volumes. It isn't something that needs to be posted or shared. Real revenge, the kind that changes everything, isn't about noise. It's about growth. It's about rising without asking for attention. It's about succeeding in silence, so powerfully that one day your existence becomes undeniable. Most people think revenge means getting even, that you have to respond, retaliate, prove your worth with words. But the truth is, the loudest revenge is no response at all. Just results, just discipline, just transformation. When they say you can't, you don't argue. You don't post long rants. You don't waste your energy fighting shadows. You go to work. You disappear from the drama, from the opinions, from the noise, and you do what they never expected. You rise, quietly, consistently, relentlessly. Because the truth is, the most powerful growth happens in silence, when no one is cheering for you, when no one believes in you, when no one is watching. That's where the foundation is built. That's where character is forged. That's where you stop trying to prove people wrong and start proving yourself right. And the moment you shift from needing their validation to trusting your own path, everything changes. Suddenly, their laughter becomes background noise. Their opinions lose weight. And their presence in your story becomes irrelevant. Because this chapter you're writing now, it's not for them. It's for the version of you that refused to quit. Revenge isn't fueled by hate. It's not about payback. You see, the most successful people, the most unstoppable forces in any field, are often the quietest, and it's not easy. People will question why you withdrew. You don't need to tell them what you're doing. You don't need to argue or defend yourself. Your silence isn't weakness. It's focus. It's clarity. It is the quiet storm that builds beneath the surface until the moment is right to emerge, not with words, but with impact. And when that moment comes, when your time finally arrives, they'll ask where you've been. They'll ask how you did it. And you won't need to say much, because your life will be the answer. Some of the greatest victories happen in silence. The battles no one sees. The breakthroughs no one understands. Not because it's easy, but because the future you're building demands it. Because it came from within. From the pain you turned into power. From the doubts you turned into drive. You're doing this to become. And when you become, the world will take notice. No words needed. From the silence you used as strength. Stay focused. Not because the world is watching, but because your purpose is worth the sacrifice. And when the time comes when the results speak for themselves, you'll walk into every room knowing you didn't just prove them wrong. You proved yourself right. The moments when you choose growth over ego, discipline over reaction, vision over validation. Those are the wins that truly matter. The ones that change your direction. The ones that define your character. So let them doubt. Let them gossip. Let them write their version of your story. Because you're not in a rush to correct them. What you owe is to yourself to keep showing up. To keep going. To keep your eyes on the road ahead. Not the noise behind. Because the more you focus on the work, the less the world can distract you. And the more you tune into your mission, the less space you have for resentment. You're in the process of becoming someone who doesn't just respond to the world, but rewrites the world they live in. You're becoming someone who doesn't fight for revenge, but embodies it through relentless growth. Understand this. You don't owe anyone an explanation. Not for your pain, not for your progress, not for your silence. There will be moments when your past creeps in reminders of what they said, how they treated you, the doors that were closed. And that's okay. Use it. Not as fuel for bitterness, but as motivation for excellence. Every insult, every doubt, every setback, turn it into focus, into energy, into clarity. Because the ultimate revenge isn't to hurt them. It's to heal yourself. To build a life so full, so free, so undeniable that their opinions fade into nothing. Don't think for a second that success needs an audience. So stay silent, not because you have nothing to say, but because your actions are louder. Stay disciplined. That is success in its purest form. Not loud, not flashy, but unshakable. So keep going. Keep rising. And remember, you are not doing this to be seen. That is what real revenge looks like. That is what it means to succeed in silence.